Yeah, buddy. And that's how we roll. Alright everybody, we are back here for another day in the shop, and today we're going to go ahead and we're going to swap the forks out on this. But before we get into that, I do want to say a few things. Alright, so first things first, I know that I didn't upload a video on Father's Day, which as I'm filming this was yesterday. I really just wanted to enjoy the day. I spent the entire day with my family and it was an amazing day. I couldn't have asked for a better Father's Day. And with that being said, I do want to say happy belated Father's Day to all the hardworking dads out there that do everything that they can to support their family and be there for their family and are good dads. Because outside of Father's Day, really there's no other day throughout the rest of the year where men specifically are shown support. Society has kind of turned us into kind of shitty human beings because without fathers, kids' lives are so much different. They don't grow up the same as kids who have fathers consistently throughout their lives. So thanks again to all those men out there who are actual dads and show up for their kids every day, no matter how old they are. This also may sound counterintuitive, but I would like to thank all the moms out there that teach their kids how they should go about appreciating their father for Father's Day, because there's a lot of shitty people in this world. And when I say shitty people, I mean both sides, men and women. There's a lot of shitty people out there, but there are a lot of really good people out there too, both men and women. And those women who actively go out of their way to help their kids and show their kids how they should appreciate their father for things like Father's Day and do things that are actually meaningful for the men out there for Father's Day. The number one person that I would like to thank is my wife, because even though we've had our ups and downs and we've had a lot of hard times throughout our relationship, she has always been extremely good at this and extremely good at doing things that actually mean something for me, because honestly, on a personal level here, I don't give a shit about materialistic things in any way. Yes, these dirt bikes are fun. Yes, they're expensive. Yes, they require a lot of work and a lot of parts and a lot of effort. But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit about these bikes. Not everything is meaningful for me when it comes to gifts. The price of the gift does not equate to how meaningful it is to me. So that's why I'd like to take a second to shout out the good moms and good women out there. My wife had my kids make this for me. She ordered the pit board online. They all put their own things on there. Mind you, my son is 5, so my wife had to write the stuff on the board for him. But these are the kind of things that actually mean something to me, because now I'm going to hang this up in my shop and I'm going to get to look at it every single day. She clear coated it so none of this stuff will wipe off. She did a really good job. And not only is this side super cool because I get to see all my kids' stuff and their handprints and everything, but this side is super cool too. She wrapped the back of it and made a nice little Braap Boyz sticker for it. So that way I got my my Braap Boyz pit board. Thank you again to all the women out there who do things like this for their baby dads or their husbands or their boyfriends or just any man that has kids, you know, and like that's the stuff that means stuff to us. So women, you better figure that out. I also wanted to let you guys know that last week I got my first collaboration with a company called Super Clean. They make cleaning products, degreasers, stuff like that. And they hit me up via email, asked if they could send out some of their products so that I would do a video on it. And yeah, so Super Clean is on its way and we're gonna put it to the test against my other favorite cleaner, which is Purple Power. So thank you, Super Clean, for sending out that product, and you guys will catch that one in a later date, hopefully next weekend. It gave me a really cool feeling, and also let me know that there are people out there that do watch this stuff. So it put it into perspective for me to understand why it is that I'm still here doing this. All right, so that's all the rambling that I wanted to do for today. So let's jump into yanking these forks off this bike and get our new BBR spring forks back on here. Let's get it. All right, so to do this, these are all the tools you're gonna need. A 14 millimeter wrench, 17 millimeter wrench, a 14 millimeter socket, and you could use the wrench and not need a socket. An 8 millimeter socket and a 12 millimeter socket, as well as a pair of pliers. First thing, go ahead pop this cotter pin out of here. I don't know, put a new one in it anyway. There's a cotter pin. Now you're gonna need your 17 and your 14. You may need a hammer too, if your nut is on there as tight as mine is. And pop our axle out, just like that. We'll work our way up. We'll take this caliper off, which is 2 12s. Why can't stuff just be easy? Take these caliper bolts out. These stupid freaking sirens. Both of these out. And switch over to our 14 millimeter. I'm going to take this one all the way out because it has a bracket on it. And this side over here, we're just going to loosen it. Switch over to your 12 millimeter and loosen this bolt. Be careful though, because your fork may slide out if it's not crusty. Same thing over here. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and try to slide these out, even though they're probably not going to come out that easy. Because why would they? That'd be too easy. Slide the fork all the way out, just like that. There we go. All right. There's both of those. Now we'll get a piece of Scotch-Brite. You don't absolutely have to do this, but if you get like a green scrub pad or maybe a piece of sandpaper that's like 800 or 1,000 grit or so, just go in here and clean these holes up a little bit. That way the new forks slide in there the way that they're supposed to. Do the same thing over here. There's that. All right, so here are our old forks. The new forks are exactly the same. They just have the BBR adult springs in them, as well as 5-weight thicker fluid. So I think it's 10 weight that's in these forks. These forks actually came off of the KLX140 build that we did, where we did the front end swap. That would be this bike, if y'all don't remember it. Make sure you guys go back through the YouTube and check this build out, because it was a really awesome one and we've done a lot to it. So make sure you guys check that out. That is in the Braap Shop series. Let's jump back over there on the tripod and get these put back on the bike. The first fork that I'm going to start with is this one, which does not have the brake caliper mounts. I'm going to slide this up in here, and I'm going to put it to where the cap is just flush with the triple clamp. We're going to line up this notch right here with the notch on the triple clamps, make it perfectly level, and we're just going to snug this top bolt down for now, just like that. And then
I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna put my foot in your ass if you say "and then" again.
We're gonna grab our other fork, which does have the caliper bracket mount, and we're gonna slide it up in there. Now, since I'm OCD, we're gonna go ahead and loosen this screw up and turn this dust boot. All right, now we're gonna go up here, put this bracket, bolt back in here, and then snug that bolt up just a little bit, as well as snug this bolt up just a little bit. We're gonna come back through and torque those, so we can go ahead and remove these bolts back out of the caliper, and make sure that you guys don't run your line on the outside, because that's not how it goes. It goes on the inside like this. These bolts go through the fork and right into the caliper. And put a 12 millimeter on here. Get a 12 on the ratchet. Just make sure that they're nice and tight. These are bolts you definitely don't want coming out. We'll put these in here like this. And take our 8 millimeter. Now I'm going to go ahead and go clean up this axle real quick and grease it so that it doesn't have all that anti-seize on it. And we'll come back over and we'll throw this front wheel back on. All right, we got our axle all greased up. I like grease better than anti-seize for axles. Anti-seize has its place, but I don't think that it's on axles. So the first thing I'm gonna do to make my life a little bit easier right off the rip is I'm gonna stick a flathead in here. I'm gonna open up this gap very easily between the brake pads. That way this rotor slides in there real nice and easy. I'm gonna grab our front wheel, slide it right up in here. Slide the axle through. Out the other side. We'll grab our 14 and our 17 again. Tighten this nut up. There we go. Don't have to be over tight. Now we're going to go through here and we're going to torque these. Top is a 12mm bolt, and we're going to torque them both to 14 foot-pounds. Don't forget to relieve your torque wrench. And that pretty much wraps up putting these forks on this 2008 KLX110. All of them are the same except for some buttons were changed because the newer ones have the updated KLX style button. Other than that, they're all the same. The top end on this bike is actually from a 2021 KLX140 and it bolted right up. That's pretty much that. Let's take it off of here and see how it feels. Oh yeah, that feels much more stable. It feels more level. Like it's got a little bit more hold up before it's gonna give out. It feels a lot better. Yeah. But yeah, overall it feels a lot. Now, I wouldn't say a lot stiffer, but it definitely feels stiffer than stock. I'm happy with that. So essentially I just did the fork swap on that other 140 of Josh's, and he gave me all the extra parts and stuff that he had from building his 140. When I first put the bike together, he had done the BBR springs, and I had gone through the fork fluid and cleaned the seals out and put new fluid in and all that stuff. So it's a great addition to this. Even though they're not going to be the last stickers that's going to be on here, we're going to go ahead and toss these on. I'll spray it with some carb cleaner or brake parts cleaner or whatever you got. Rubbing alcohol is preferred. Stick this other one on here. Yeah, buddy. And that's how we roll. Eventually I'm gonna take the rest of these stickers off of here and kind of make it look a little nicer, but I had something else planned that I was gonna do, so I'll go ahead and do that. I even kept it. So last time I went out riding with my daughter, she dropped this on where we unloaded at and bent this brand new lever, so we're gonna go ahead and fix it. And we're gonna take this wrench, we're gonna put it on here just like this. We're going to get it to catch just the ball. We're going to bend it back. Bend it back. There we go. Oh, looks much better. We'll leave it like that, and yeah, that's better than it was. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this week's quick video of putting these forks on this bike. If you guys found any of this interesting, or you guys would like to stick around and see that super clean video that we talked about earlier, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can stay tuned for all the cool adventures that we get into. Hit that like button because it helps us out more than you could possibly fathom. And if you guys would like to support us even further, head on over to BraapBoyz.com. We've got some new stuff coming. Make sure that when you guys go to checkout, you use code HOMIESGET15 at checkout to get 15% off your entire order on our website. I guess with that being said, I'll catch you guys back here next Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Braap Boyz YouTube channel. Later.